Hi everyone, welcome back to episode lucky number 13. So in lucky number 13 I'm going to be discussing the Mitt episode 69 podcast. Yes, 69, you've heard correctly. It's the art of persuasion and how to master sales. So there is so much gold in this and I want to do it justice, so I'm going to talk a bit slower than my usual pace just to match Grant's tone. And let's get started into it. So the best form of persuasion is silent and indirect, and there are 3 levels of persuasion. Number 1, person thinks you're bad at persuasion, which we all know, we've all been there. Bad sales, whatever. Number 2, they know you're good at persuasion. And then number 3, they're not even aware of you persuading them, in a sense. So what he means by that is indirect, smooth, and relaxed. Like I'm talking to you now, I'm persuading you, but you're not even aware. And he goes through 5 different points. So number 1, the brands that are elite, they don't have to persuade you or convince you. So when you're buying something high end like a Mercedes or a Rolex, you do not have to, the second point is you do not have to believe in the product, you need to believe in the salesperson. But let's go back to the point of buying a Mercedes, BMW, and or a Tudor watch, for example. You know, Dave Beckham sponsors it, or it's an ambassador or whatever you want to call it, and you know that it's premium product, essentially. So another thing he says, enthusiasm, the energy transfer, is so important, and speak with absolute certainty and clarity in what you're trying to say. Number 2, not being attached of the outcome. So just walk away, like do not be attached to the sales, because there's however many billions of people in the world and however many millions of startups or companies that you're trying to reach. So if you are, they will feel your energy, so don't waste your time, or don't waste other people's time, and then don't be disrespected as well. And yeah, so just be willing to walk away. And what I mean by that is, okay, so he puts examples of solar because he's in the solar business, but as you know, or you guys are aware, I have a strong automotive background, so let's put the examples of selling cars. If someone walks into your dealership or whatever, or if they approach you to buy a Honda, for example, then be willing just for them to walk away and walk out to buy a Ford or a Toyota, because for you it's not that deep. You can have another client walk in just like that and do sales just like that. If you guys know dealerships and if you guys know buying cars, you know what I mean. Number 3, he talks about credibility. So hard to beat perception. And what I wanted to say is it's easy to change people's opinions. So perception and first impressions you cannot change, but you can change people's opinions of you very easily. And I did that today. Don't want to give an example because it's quite private, but just people focus on not just what you say, but the energy that you bring and your intentions. So if you come with kind intentions, and if you come with like, I want to do right by you, I want to make sure this car is going to suit you for the next 20 years or however long duration you want to own the car for, because it's a lifelong decision. The same as buying solar is a lifelong decision. You know, it's a lot of investment up front. And he gives 2 examples, one bad one and one good one, which you can watch on his podcasts to get the info. So it's episode number 69 again, The Art of Persuasion. And yeah, number 4, he moves on to focus on the setup and not the persuasion bit. So there was a shopping centre experiment with shoes where they took £50 pair of shoes and dressed it up as like £500, and they put cameras around it, etc., which this story Grant tells better than I would be able to tell you. But essentially they dress up a £50 pair of shoes to make it look premium and designer, and then they ask people's opinions, and people's opinions are like, wow, this is the like best shoe I've ever seen, the quality is so great, blah blah blah. So it's psychological because the product hasn't changed, only the setup, maybe the lighting, you know, and everything like that. So the setup is so important. Nothing has changed but the setup. He also goes on to talk about dressing sharply and dressing in a way where you will make a first good impression. Doesn't have to be black tie, doesn't have to be, you know, whatever you think makes a good impression, but just dress smart, clean, nice trainers, make sure your trainers are clean, make sure, you know, it's little details. And then number 5, this is a really important bit. He breaks down a 4-step process where he goes through breaking preoccupation, discovery, credibility, and pre-framing. And I'm going to jump around those things because I think it's really important. With one of his most important points, do not sell during discovery, whatever you do. And he talks about how act curious, you know, maybe a confused tone, drop your tonality, like what got you interested in buying this Honda, for example, and you know how many seats you want, what's your kind of color preference, or really simple, play a bit dumb, get the 5th grade questions out of the way. And now I'm going to jump back to breaking preoccupation in a sense that overall you can go watch his video to get more detail, but he goes to compare going to a client's place versus going to your cousin's place. Like, you'll be so relaxed going to your cousin's place rather than going to a client's place. You won't be like, wow, this house is amazing, oh my god, like look at the marble tiles on your kitchen, for example, you know. You just be like, hey, what's up? So just be chilled and act cool. Don't compliment them or compliment what they have or be wowed by something, even if you are inside like having butterflies like a little girl. Obviously, just try not to be or overwhelm them with how impressed you are with their house or any materialistic stuff they have or their job or whatever. You know, try to get them to drop their guard and be authentic, because if you're wearing a mask, that person will be wearing a mask. Ask them what got them interested, which I went through, and don't come across as too needy. Otherwise, just come across as detached. How you can do that? Taking the E out of emotion. Just, you know, yeah, Google it. You know, it's practice. But yeah, number 3, credibility. So they already like you, and now the setup is in a way that obviously puts a stamp of approval on you, and tonality, subtle on being relaxed. Do not come across as trying to sell them, letting them know it, and So Grant goes through his pitch of selling solar, but I'll go through my pitch of selling my consulting services. So I'll say I'm an accountant and economist turned entrepreneur. I do consulting for businesses who want to grow, minimum turnover X amount, and people mainly in the tech space, in fintech or tech or automotive, because that's the background that I have and I come from. So yeah, that's my elevator pitch, if you like. And I say, if you want to grow, for example, or if you want to pivot your business model because of AI, then I would be able to help you so much. Like, you have no idea how much knowledge I have in pivoting businesses, in changing business models, in, yeah, just come to me, DM me, guys, if you want that. And then he goes, be completely certain. So see how I pitched, like, I wasn't hesitating, I know my background, I know what value I bring. I'm not trying to sell myself, I'm trying to make it known, you know? And then he gives the example of, we're Apple, the largest company in the world. Simple as. Okay, then now number 4, he moves to pre-framing. Assuming this happens and we go ahead with moving forward, then great. But if you're looking at it and it doesn't make sense, then we don't have to worry about it. So the setup is there. They like you. So you've broken the preoccupation and you have authentic version of themselves. And yeah, so thank you very much for listening to this. And I just wanted to kind of break down or kind of give you guys a breakdown of this video, because it's so important to master sales if you have your own biz. The art of persuasion is so key to persuading not just your clients but anyone that you meet. And Grant just gives so much value in everything that he does, especially all his podcasts. And I just have listened to his podcast over and over and over again to get his knowledge and the message he's trying to get across. And I'm so thankful for him, because he is one of the people that has a voice which I can just listen to over and over and over and over and over again without getting bored, without getting like not picky, but without nitpicking at other things. And my attention span's quite short, even though I can focus really, really well and really, really focus when I find something I really like or love. So yeah, thank you, Grant Mitt. You can find Grant Mitt on all social media at Grant Mitt. He has sales workshops and consulting workshops. If you hit his link on Instagram or his website, 90-minute training breakdown of all of these things, and he does Q&A, etc. So find at Grant Mitt consulting.com, I believe it is, or just Google at Grant Mitt. He's done a TED Talk, he's done obviously this podcast, he's launched Mitt Group to be multiple, I don't even know how many figures business, how big it is, but multiple, let's just say 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 figure business. And he's also a very genuine and nice person. He's so giving. Very giving, especially giving knowledge. He doesn't gatekeep. So if you ask him any question, he will go out of his way to help you, or he's made a video about it, you know? So thank you so much, Grant. Hope you have a nice Christmas and New Year with me. Just kidding. Yeah, so other than that, hope all of you guys have an incredible week. Thank you very much for watching. And yeah, this video is sponsored by Cartier. It is not, but I wish they would sponsor me. So thanks, Cartier. If you're watching, please sponsor me. Thank you very much. I've repped your logo on this video. I will leave you guys with a message of just listen to Grandma's podcast. Just listen to it. Once you listen to one episode, you'll be hooked and you'll be like, wow, there's 150 episodes that I need to get through. And that will take me... I watch his or listen to his podcast or watch his podcast, both. And Spotify said I spent 921 minutes listening to his podcast. So yeah, if you are... dedicate yourself when you have time over the holidays just to listen to his podcast at Grant Mitt. Cool. Thanks, guys. I'll see you later in the next one.